What's up, guys? Welcome back to our Bible study series on the gnarly stories of Scripture. Last week, we talked about Moses and the Red Sea, and this week, we're going to be talking about Rahab and the two spies. So, how many of you guys have played the game hide and seek? Literally everyone has played hide and seek. In fact, just for the fun of it, I recorded a game for you guys. Here you go. All right, so Sanjay and Tony here are gonna go hide inside the building, and Brandon over here is gonna go find them after they're set. So why don't you guys go ahead and hide?
I'll be back for you.
All right, you guys ready? You ready, Sanjay? Okay. All right, Brandon.
Wonder where that could be.
Ooh, that would have been a good one.
Found this guy.
Oh, Sanjay!
Found him. I'm the go at it.
Nice job, Tony. Isn't it funny how when the game was over, Brandon was like, I'm the GOAT of hide and seek? It's funny though, because Tony and Sanjay thought they were in really good spots. They thought they weren't going to be found, and yet Brandon was able to find them. Well, in this story, in Joshua chapter 2, these two spies are investigating this land that God has promised them, and they are certain that they're not going to be found by the people there, because they're hiding out in this house of this prostitute, Rahab. Let's check out what happened. Joshua chapter 2. Then Joshua, son of Nun, secretly sent two spies from Shittim. Go and look over the land, he said, especially Jericho. They went and entered a house of a prostitute named Rahab and stayed there. The king of Jericho was told, look, some of the Israelites have come here tonight to spy out the land. So the king of Jericho sent this message to Rahab. Bring out the men who came to you and entered by your house, because they have come to spy out the whole land. But the woman had taken the two men and hidden them. She said, yes, the men came to me, but I knew not where they had come from. At dusk, when it was time to close the city gate, they left. I don't know which way they went. Go after them quickly. You may catch up with them. But she had taken them up to the roof and hidden them under stalks of flax she had laid out on the roof. So the men set out in pursuit of the spies on the road that leads to the fords of Jordan. And as soon as they had gone out, the gate was shut. Before the spies laid down for the night, she went up to the roof and said, I know the Lord has given you this land, and that a great fear of you has fallen on us, so that all who live in this country are melting in fear because of you. We have heard how the Lord dried up the waters of the Red Sea for you when you came out of Egypt, and what you did to Sihon and Og, the two kings of the Amorites of the east of Jordan, whom you completely destroyed. When we heard of it, our hearts melted in fear, and everyone's courage failed because of you. For the Lord your God is God in heaven above and on earth below. Now then, please swear to me by the Lord that you will show kindness to my family, because I have shown kindness to you. Give me a sure sign that you will spare the lives of my father and mother, my brothers and sisters, and all who belong to them." "Our lives for your lives," the men assured her. "If you don't tell what we are doing, we will treat you kindly and faithfully when the Lord gives us this land." So she let them down by a rope through the window of the house she lived in, was part of the city wall. She said to them, "Go to the hills so the pursuers will not find you. Hide yourself there 3 days until they return. Then go on the way." I find this story really interesting because up until this point, we haven't really seen anyone come to know God outside of his own people. And yet, if we keep reading, God does indeed bless Rahab for her faith and spare her and her family from the destruction that comes in our next story that we'll talk about. Rahab faithfully served the 2 spies, and God spared her family because of it. As Christians, we should have a heart to serve others that cross our path. So I want to challenge you guys to take a step in faith this week by serving someone even if they don't ask, and watch what God does because of it. We'll see you next week.